Older people sometimes feel lonely, you know, but in those days there was always the neighbours bob in and have a look at you and all that sort of thing.
With like the internet and you got social networking and everything, no one actually does come out of the house. So if you got neighbours that are older than yourself, then you're not actually going to be seeing them. Back before you've got Facebook and all them, you would go out, you'd say hi to your neighbour, and you'd go to your friend's house. But as you've said hi, then you're basically checking in on them. But because of the internet now, the way you go to your friend's house is through the internet.
Television's a big killer of that sort of thing. You know, most kids come in from school at 4 o'clock, bang in front of the TV, and they're there till they go to bed. We never used to have that.
Do you think we're losing the art of conversation? Do you not think we talk enough anymore? You know, like we were talking about a community being quite strong where people mixed a little bit more when you were younger. Do you think we're losing a little bit of that?
Well, I think so, because everybody knew everybody else's business.
Yeah.
And they'd talk about it to you, and then they wait, then they say, oh, shut up, she's here. Didn't they? Hey, shut up, she's here. Don't let her on. Don't let her be talking about her. Mrs. Monks and Mrs. Nixon.
I mean, I'm proud of what I've done of myself and that, you know. I didn't bring any trouble home, you know, and things like that. I did everything more or less by the book, as we say.
So what's your biggest fear for young people?
The biggest fear for me is like these young ones and the girls get murdered or something. I think it's a dreadful way to live now.
Do you think so? Personal safety, is that what you're trying to say?
I think there's not personal safety now.
You can't walk down the street now at night.
No, I wouldn't even go out of the night.
In certain areas, I mean.
You could do one time, but you can't now.
Oh, no.
When you're our age, when you was younger, you could have done it.
I used to walk.
You go out and leave your doors and windows open.
I used to sell papers
you can't
in town
now.
And then walk home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we all had our moments, didn't we?
But you knew the copper. They used to have one in the area. And used to be all scared of him, the kids, didn't they? And he used to blow his whistle. I was telling my son that last night. I said, they didn't have walkie-talkies and all this carry-on and speeding cars and all that in them days.
He used to give you a clip round there, Oliver.
Get you by the ear like this. Get you.
You were scared of them though, weren't you? Yeah. But you could talk to them. A lot of the young coppers today, you can't.
They play in their mind that there's something going to happen to them, and if they don't play that, then they're not going to feel isolated. Like,
yeah, I do think like people is isolated by they're forced. Well, they don't force themselves, but they make themselves isolated by playing on the games and technology. But people need to get out more and stay off games. I think the community is kind of grown apart from each other. Like, there's a lot of arguments like going on around and that, which causes people to stop speaking to other people. And yeah, I think basically they're just the friends. Like, they don't like mixing with new people. They just like staying with their friends.
everyone in the community used to talk, but there is a lot of people in the community that are close together and talk. I might pass my neighbours and say hi to them and stuff and talk to them, but a lot of people don't do that. They just don't want to speak to them. And say if you've got a new neighbour, you wouldn't really go around and speak to them like you would have done before. You just don't interact with people that you don't know anymore, because you don't know if you can trust them anymore. You don't know who you can trust anymore because things are changing.
I think that the community is not as strong anymore because like people are sort of thinking, mind your own business. It's my business and you shouldn't be sort of like getting involved. There's other communities that are like a bit sort of closer. It's like round near me, we all send like each other Christmas cards, we all know each other and like speak to each other and like do each other favours and stuff, like say if we all sort of like chip in. But I mean, it's not as strong as it used to be.
Older people are frightened for us, like, to go out, which, yeah, it is frightening because you don't know who's around the corner when you are out and you don't know who's behind you or anything. And like mostly now, teenagers go out when it's getting dark and that, and they're listening to their iPods and that, and they can't hear what's behind them or anything could happen.
I do feel scared sometimes. Like, if I'm on my own, I'll feel scared because I don't know what's going to happen to me because people could do anything. But when I'm with a group of people, I feel more secure. I feel like nothing's bad going to happen to me. When I'm with a group of people that they're going to protect me, I feel more protected. But when I'm on my own, I do feel quite scared. Like if someone's walking down the street behind me, I'll walk faster because I'm scared of them.
I do feel like a lot safer if there's like a group of us. But then it's sort of like people looking at us and thinking, oh, they're a gang. and then they're frightened of us. I think it's just being with people sort of makes you feel a lot safer. But when you're out on your own, like the other day I nearly got knocked off my bike because I was a different colour, like of skin, and they was like tried knocking me off my bike, and there's just no need really, because I'm just another person at the end of the day, and it's like it's a bit stupid. So I mean, if there was a gang of us, they probably wouldn't have tried, but because it was just me on my own, I think it's just, you have to be in a sort of group to feel a bit safer now than being on your own.
People don't give the police respect like the way they should do, because the police are there to protect people, like for their safety, but sometimes people just throw it back in their faces. Young people think that the police are a bad thing, which they're not, because they're looking out for their safety at the end of the day, but the young ones just abuse the police.
Like people nowadays don't sort of like respect like the police. They're sort of like getting a chase off them, and it's like, oh yeah, I got chased off the police the weekend, and it's just like at the end of the day they're there for the security, and like if something's happened, something bad, and they're getting a chase off the police, then the police aren't there to go and respond to it. Or something a bit more serious than being as bored or like setting fires and stuff.
I thought it was good like listening to the older people, what they think of like the younger people and on the society around them, and it also gives us like an insight of what the younger years were like for them. I
felt pretty upset, like some of the things that they said. It was like calling us lazy and branding us all with the same iron, and it's just like we're not all like that. There's some of us that are like pretty decent, and we do sort of respect the elders. Just like some of us do agree with some of their points, and some of the stuff that they've said, it's sensible. It's sort of like agreeing with the younger people, because some younger people think, yeah, they are right, they know what they're talking about.
It showed me that like I always thought that older people would have the same like understanding as us, like, but they don't. They see things, they see the world different than we do. It's like we're looking at a different place than they are, but we're not. It's all the same place, but we just have different views on it.
I think they need to sort of see like more of what we're doing like here today. I think they need to see more of what we do and give up our time to do stuff that we don't have to do, and like give up our time we don't really have to give up.
I think everyone's individual in their own way as well. They're not all the same, and people shouldn't judge like people as one.